Hi, this is Fang Sane. So right now we're in the middle of Canyon, and we are doing relatively well given the circumstances. So we are, I am preparing to basically face off against the Canyon boss. We take that, we get the buff. From there, we are going to then try to go after the power core, or prep to do that at least, right? So far, we are doing relatively well against the opposing clan. Um, we are facing against 2XL right now. Um, doing a lot better than I expected, actually. Last time we fought against 2XL, we did not do as well as we are doing now. But then again, it's like not all of the people that are normally stronger in terms of my alliance were on, so that could have been one of the factors that caused that. Um, I am going to see if I can multitask. Let's see if I can do some multitasking. I'm going to see if I can hit his HQ while taking down the canyon boss. Nice. I'm going to see if I can explode this guy. Pretty sure we can explode him. Very nice. Okay. So, currently right now, we are going to prep to do power core. We've got 3 minutes until it spawns, so typically what I do is that before it spawns, um, we're going to teleport basically here. And then what you can do is that you can move your formation on the opposing side of the energy station. What this does is that it allows you to, when you're returning the troops, to again go right above that to cap it very quickly, right? So that is the main strategy behind that. I actually learned that strategy from VIPB, actually. Didn't even know it was a thing until I actually faced off against VIPB in Canyon. Let's see. Ah, nice. Ryzen just logged in. Did he log in and then log out? Oh no, he's here. R2. 1 minute and 35 seconds before power core spawns. Pretty sure Ryzen shouldn't have any issues getting points. I would assume he wouldn't have issues getting points. Where is Ryzen? Ah, there we go. Okay. 45 seconds. I think Rise. Okay, 300 points. I was hoping Ryzen got more than just 300 points. Because he needs 2k bare minimum to be counted as a participant. Let me just tell Ryzen to try to reinforce some buildings. Nice. We have 0 opposition right now. There we go. That is taken down. The other military base is taken. We don't need to worry about that. And I am going to reinforce this for complete control over the field currently right now. Okay, cool. Ryzen has at least 3,700 points, so that counts as participation. In the context of Canyon, if you don't have minimum 2k points in Canyon, you don't get any rewards. So that does not, that neglects you from getting any participation rewards. For those that don't know about that. Yeah, Lee does not need my help on capping. He pretty much has that dealt with. While they're doing that, I'm gonna see if I can try to take control of the rest of the buildings. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, I see. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I should have. I wasn't. I thought he was about to attack him with me. So then we can explode him together. But I think that should significantly lower the amount of troops in his base. Oh, Canyon Boss is about to spawn. I'm gonna take down the Canyon Boss again. have this funny suspicion he's going to try to hit my HQ. I don't know why, but it's just a feeling. I'm going to hit with anything but my main right now, and I want to see what happens. Okay. I'm not exactly super urgently healing my troops because by the time the canyon ends, my troops heal all the way to max anyways, so it's not exactly a priority. Let's see. I also have more than enough merit points to not completely... Oh, I have 32 seconds until... I think I should be able to hit this person's HQ. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna prioritize their spawn, actually. Basically, it's 3 points. What the opposing team is trying to do is that they're trying to grind for points right now by just injuring their troops onto the structure, knowing that they're going to lose. Well, not realistically lose because it just becomes injured, but just injuring troops on purpose. This allows them to completely feed into just gaining points from doing that, which helps them and helps me because then I can get more merit points by the end of the event. I think after all of these attacks, I should be able to get to 90-something thousand easily. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, 99,000. And then I can just take over the building again. It's not realistically going to matter. and then you pull that back, and that's naturally just going to sit inside that building for you. Just like that. I think I now have, okay, that's not expected, but 112,000 is not horrible, especially since I had been prioritizing building capture instead. I'm usually a lot more aggressive in this game, but everyone just has everything dealt with. I surprisingly didn't really have to do much outside of just dealing with the canyon boss and building capture. Everything's pretty much good to go. We have the canyon boss buff, I believe. Yeah, battlefield damage. We have the hospital buff. We've got the military base buff. We have almost all of the territory entirely under our control. Except maybe the field hospital, but we could easily recapture that. There isn't realistically much to do. I mean, this guy could try to hit me, but I would just teleport back in even if he explodes me. Only one of those can realistically reinforce, so it's not going to matter. Let him hit me. More points. Like actually more points. We're essentially guaranteed to win the event. So them exploding my base isn't exactly going to be a detriment to me, and it's not going to matter in the long run, as all that would do is feed more points to me. Like, I have 134,000 points right now, right? So if they realistically wanted to, they can keep on hitting my base all they want to, because my troops at the end of the day are just going to get completely re-healed. And that's kind of why it's like I'm doing the strategy that I'm doing. It's not because we're throwing the game, it's just because we're guaranteed to win the game. And so at the end of the day, all that really matters right now is just getting those points up to be able to just max out your potential rewards. Right now I'm doing it with the least amount of effort, because it's just easier to do. And that's also why I don't particularly care if they hit my base, because the more troops they injure from me, the more points I'm ultimately just going to get. So that's going to help me more than it's going to help them. Well, I guess it's also helping them because it gives them a lot of points, but realistically, they're going to lose the event anyways. I am just going to reinforce my player there. I don't know why this is not reinforcing. Unless the okay, the base is fully reinforced, that's why. Wait, is reinforcements capped at 3 in Canyon? Oh. That is so weird. Okay. I think I'm close to... No, I'm not close to 180k. once I hit 180, it just maxes out your potential wards, and I can just relax from there, as it no longer matters past 180. At that point, it's just having fun. Just going to refresh my troops. I think it's just way too crowded in the area that I'm in. I might just focus on going at a completely different area right now. Yeah, it should get me to about close to 190. Just gonna see if we can explode one more base before the entire canyon ends. Let's see. I feel like his base is basically probably empty. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would assume they'll probably hit my base when it's empty. Again, it's like 3 points, right? I mean, I could care, but I mean, why? Right? Because I just now got almost 200k points just from them doing that. And this is so late into the game that it's not going to do anything else besides assisting them and getting better rewards. Which I hope that they're at least getting something decent out of it, given the fact that like they're 1/5 for current points right now. It's pretty bad. Let's see, let's try to get one more hit. One more. Last 40 seconds of the game. We should at least try to blow one more base up. Spray and pray. Yes, okay, nice, nice. It's a good way to actually end things. 14 seconds. Please be 200k. Ah, so close. Can I get 200? Ah, no, I couldn't get 200k. I mean, at least we won. Okay. Yeah, level 4 random module chest, orange decor chest. As expected, the 15k Valor medals. The 16 hours of construction speed up is going to help a lot. For sure. Since I need to speed something up, actually. I almost forgot about that. What I'm planning on doing is to just expend all the resources here in order to just upgrade to the next level for the lab. I am also planning on getting the construction buff before reset because I need to be able to speed this up and get that going. I should save that for, the next shelter day, but I'd rather not lose almost this much resources when we have SVS happening. I am going to upgrade that. A couple things I also wanted to show was how many resources this actually consumes. A lot. Without the mastery buff of the for the temporary buff plus the construction title, this takes about 28 days and 15 hours. This is while I have the research I have it at to just increase the construction speed. So I have, you can actually check here for stat overview. I think it's near the bottom. It is, there we go. 125% construction speed here. And my villa is at level 29. At level 29 villa, along with that much of the construction speed in the research, that's how long it will take, which is still an extraordinarily long time. And I think I have some refugees that I've dispatched to actually help with that. Yeah, I've got 4 orange refugees, right? So it's, I mean, you don't have to, but it's recommended to at least get the research, stack that on top of the villa, stack that on top of the construction title, and then stack on the mastery. So I am going to toss on the mastery on, let's put it on King. Let's show King some love. Since he's online, I can probably take advantage of this right now. Build support. So that speeds it up by about 15%. I am then going to use the construction title to then speed that up further. So even with the mastery buff, this takes still 27 days. So with the construction title, it's going to take a little bit less, but still quite a bit of time. But still, it's anything's better than, I think that showed like 100 and something days. Yeah, 147 days, right? So every little bit helps. While that is happening, I'm just going to open up a bunch of crates in order to get that over and done with. There we go. Now I just need to wait for the construction buff. So while waiting for that, this is one other detail that I did want to show. In a future video, I'm going to show about the power core segment here, what rewards there are. Actually, I might as well show that now to give you a glimpse at least. And in that way, I can show in a future video that's dedicated to this event. So in that way, if someone wants to watch a power core side, it's going to be separate, right? Instead of having to watch through the entire video just to get this. So you do have power cores, this alloy for upgrading your equipment, for leveling it up. You do have construction speeds, training speeds, and research speeds. Most people don't really care about the training speeds, construction speed, and research speeds because this is super easy to do. You can even get that as like a universal, like speed up, right? So it's not that useful. Power cores and alloy, on the other hand, very hard to get. So that's why typically that you would get that. Please never get the purple equipment choice box and the treasure round prize. It's worse than the other choices. I would rather get the construction speed ups over like a purple equipment box, like, because when you get the purple equipment box, you're just going to replace that, right? So typically everyone just gets the power cores. Almost everyone just gets the power cores because it's just what's realistically going to assist you in the long run. I did show this before. I ended up completing the 30 tech researches over here. I saved that specifically for the bullseye bullets for this event. And I ended up, yes, one of the people commenting ended up, I did see that comment about the whole T10 thing. I will explain why my mentality is the way that it is. I know the game is going to release like a T11 after T10. I know that there probably is going to eventually be a T12. However, what I'm anticipating that's going to happen is that they're probably going to have alternative researches that would pop up, and I wanted to show what those alternative researches are. Because so far for T10, so many people already have T10, where a lot of people don't know what alternatives they have to them, right? So I know that it might bottleneck me when I don't go for T10, right? But I am willing to personally take on that risk right now to try to go for an alternative to T10, so that way I can at least show people watching these videos to help guide them and show them that, hey, these are the alternatives. If you don't just want to solely focus on T10, here you go. You could end up trying to do Tactical Master as an example. And if someone wants to go through the optional pathways that are there, then I wanted to show them what those optional pathways are. So that's the whole reason why I did that. And that's the whole reason why I'm going down the Tactical Master route. It's because I wanted to try to show the other available options to people that might not be super aware of them. And a lot of people playing the game, even my own server, didn't even think that Tactical Master was a thing, right? So because of that, I just wanted to kind of let people know what options are out there. If this is the type of option they want to go for, then by all means, I will show you to the best of my ability to what I know at that very moment and what I learn about to help guide people eventually get there. And hopefully they end up enjoying that route if they do go down that route, right? So the whole reason why I wanted to do the lab construction now is because SVS is going to start soon, and I am in the mud. So I didn't want to lose all of those resources while being inside the mud. And so I just decided to just use up all of those resources to upgrade my lab to lab 33 at the moment. As you saw, very expensive and very time consuming to upgrade. I am doing that because at the end of the tactical master path, once you hit the final recharge shield section, because there's a couple, I think, that one requires you to go and start that lab 35. So that's the whole reason why I wanted it to specifically start that route first. Start the process of getting the construction going and try to get to lab 35 as quickly as I can, because I have to do that anyways if my end goal is tactical master and to max it out, right? My other thought process is that I wanted to know which research unlocks what. I am super hoping that the developers do not want us to max out Steel Age, because if they do, I 110% do not want to go down Steel Age. I only wanted to complete Steel Age to a certain extent until basically it's like I got the healing speed and I got the emergency center, right? Once I get that, I don't want to continue that path down anymore. It is too time consuming and too painful to do. And the thing is the whole point, I know why they made Steel Age the way that it is. I just don't like the reasoning behind it, because the whole point of Steel Age is that it's basically supposed to be a continuation of what Rapid Growth was, right? So it's just another utility research, which I understand. But to go down that utility research ends up taking you so much more time and so many more resources that the utility behind it is wasted on the amount of time that it would take you to even try to get to use the utility. I think that a utility research is only useful if the process to get the utility research is less expensive than getting the utility research itself. Than getting to the actual, like, through the process itself. So if I was going down the utility research path, right, I want to be able to quickly go through that to help myself get better construction speed, research speed, stuff like that. But if, let's say, the resources consumed getting to that process, getting through there, ends up delaying my own progress on everything else, that ruins the whole point of an utility research that's meant to actually speed up your progress. And so that's what they kind of ruined on the whole point of Steel Age. Because, yes, there is construction speed in Steel Age. Yes, there is research speed that it speeds up your research. But this is the start of Steel Age. This is how useless this is. Production speed of wind turbine. This is okay because it's production speed of steel, but look at that. That's Zent production. Everybody usually has too much Zents and too much electricity unless you're a farm. Here is when it gets interesting. Here's the emergency center. That's the healing speed. I haven't even completed the healing speed section yet, because that is about like 20% healing speed, and this whole section here is actually pretty expensive. So you have all of these other researches to complete. Why would you spend all your badges on Steel Age when the process to get Steel Age and to get Steel Age ruins the whole point of actually doing that? When, like, as you saw, for just that small additional percentage of healing speed, it will cost me over 1,000 badges to do for one single level from level 1 to level 2. So it's like, if this is going to make it as painful as T10 research, I don't see the point in actually going down Steel Age. Perfect, okay, yep. This is just easier to do on PC because you can just click on the mouse. Yeah, I was just getting treasure first before I actually showed the rest of Steel Age. I just didn't want to miss the treasure. So, The first thing is the emergency center that I was showing before. The other thing is this. This is the construction speed I was talking about. This is 30%. That seems okay until you just realize I would spend 1,000 badges on a single level from level 1 to level 2 on rapid casualty care. That means, to put that to perspective, immediately in my mindset, this is going to be very expensive. So I just saw like level 1 in skilled craftsman, just one level, that's 1.8 thousand badges, right? Almost 2,000 badges for a single level for 3% construction speed. This is why this is considered more useless than rapid growth, right? Because on rapid growth, at least it's free. You don't need to use badges. In Steel Age, it is totally different where you are consuming so many badges where it doesn't make any sense to put it into this rather than anything else like T10, army building. You can be putting this into like even fully armed alliance is better because at least on fully armed alliance, you're able to get, oh sorry, that's unit special training. Fully armed alliance, you can get healing speed. 50%. That's 50%. On Steel Age, it's 20. So that's a massive, massive difference. And I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm almost certain that it's actually cheaper to do fully armed alliance, go down this section here, because most of the time you're going to be completing this section anyways, because it's like troop attack and defense, right? And then going here, because this section I think it's about 40,000 badges only for 50% additional healing speed. That sounds expensive, and it probably is pretty expensive, but keeping in mind a single level of Steel Craftsman as an example is 2k. A single level of healing speed for 2% healing is 1.1k. So that probably means that rapid casualty care is probably on like approximately like 22,000 badges. Pretty expensive. So that's kind of why it's like I'm going down this route because I want to find out what does what to kind of guide people through that path. And yes, it does at some point probably does stunt my growth in terms of the research, because if my assumption is wrong, then it's a pretty big risk, right? But again, it's like the likelihood that the developers are going to make outside research of just not just T10, T11, and then T12, but also have something else to go alongside with it is pretty high. Anyways, I hope that everybody enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. And again, I do apologize that like this was a little bit about Canyon, a little bit of a response to one of the comments that was made, because I understand that like a lot of people are wondering why this far into this that I am not specifically focusing on T10. Number one, T10 is extremely expensive. Number two, I was saving that section army building, which I can't do on T10. T10 I actually have to complete everything before I complete the next section, right? So I can't even do that on T10 to begin with. I wanted to do this on the army building section because I wanted to do like pocket the research to do for the speed run of the research for 30, right? The research tech 30 times. So it's like, if I know I'm going to have this event in the future, I might as well at least like take advantage of being able to grind for that. And I am hoping that my assumption is correct. I could be very wrong. And if I am, then at least I gave it a shot. Because the alternative is that the developers are just, if they're just solely focusing on T10, T11, and T12, that's not going to be good for the entire community, just because the only people that would be able to get to T11 not just only have T10, but have the money and the spending to be able to get T11 faster than anybody else, right? So my presumption is that if they do release T11, then they are going to try to make it easier to get T10. That's my assumption. And that because early servers are pretty much the little like we're the lab rats, right? We're just kind of like the people who are testing everything and giving them feedback at this point. And the reason why I make that assumption that they're doing it this way is because in earlier servers we had the desert theme. A lot of players quit during that, and a lot of players hated it. So what they did for newer servers is that they no longer have the desert theme. So that's why my assumption is that they also saw how players struggled to get T10 and that they likely saw how expensive it was and how difficult it was to go through that grind. And now I could be very wrong. And if I am wrong, then I'm giving the developers the benefit of the doubt. But my assumption is that the grind for T10 is going to be much easier in future seasons, which is why I don't want to focus on it right now. Because if this assumption is correct, then what they will likely do is that they're going to release T11 while knowing that many players do not have T10 and therefore will then release something, maybe a patch or something to make T10 either easier to get or ways to get badges a lot easier, significantly easier, right? Um, and that is my assumption. If my assumption is wrong, then a lot of players are definitely going to quit, like without a doubt. But let's hope for the best. Anyways, again, this is Fang Sane. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.